It is not that we should pay more attention to small, medium cities. What I want to say is that you see the migrant workers, what is their future? Their household register reform will have impact on the migrant workers. There are some resistance to the migrant workers. They cannot settle in the cities. But if you don't have the proper policies, don't give them job opportunities, then they will have problems. Second is that in major cities, they have some self-protection, protectionism system there.
And we believe that the big cities are saturated now, and we have to really do a better distribution of our population. This is in the mind of the central government. Thank you. As a traveler to China, I also hope that your small and medium cities will have a great development and to reach the international level so that we can have more tourism in China. Next is the Vice Mayor. And the economic transformation in the south of China is apparent to everybody. Shenzhen has played an important role. I would like to ask you, Shenzhen's transformation, because Shenzhen is in between Hong Kong and Guangzhou, what are the relationships and what is your position on that? Without Hong Kong, we won't have Shenzhen, and vice versa. Without Shenzhen, there wouldn't be Hong Kong. So far, these two cities are China's first-level scientists and engineers cooperation area, and Hong Kong advanced very much in science and technology, and Shenzhen in engineering advanced a great deal. A lot of Hong Kong's R&D result is implemented in Shenzhen. Shenzhen, as it is marching into testing point for China, and Shenzhen and Hong Kong will become a combined financial center. And we believe from the prediction of Hong Kong organizations, our economic power has surpassed London. And we hope we can, in 10 years, reach New York level. This is what Shenzhen and Hong Kong would like to do. And Shenzhen and Guangzhou have a lot of corporations. Shenzhen, compared with Guangzhou, lacks in terms of its age. Shenzhen is so new, and Guangzhou has a long history. However, Shenzhen is more modern. And these three cities, as Mr. Li knows, in our urbanization, it's unprecedented in the world. And within 100 kilometers, we have three mega cities, over 10 million people in each. And this is a topic China needs further study. Thank you. And I believe that a lot of people don't know as much as I do about Shenzhen. In the 80s, I went to Shenzhen. I saw the rice field. The only building was a wood public toilet. And your development is so amazing. It's breathtaking. And not only economically, but also in your innovation area, you have advanced so quickly. And I would like to ask Mr. Zhou, because Mr. Zhou is in Beijing and he's in charge of infrastructure development. So his speech focused on that. I would like to ask you, currently, the issues that Beijing facing in infrastructure is grave. However, government invests a huge amount by 2020 and 2030. The functionality from the point of view of infrastructure in Beijing, what kind of improvement or expectations you would like to see? Beijing's development has to be supported by infrastructure development. From that point of view, and for the rail development is our main focus. And this area, for our prospect, we can see two networks. One is you can see city and rural area. It's about 1,000 kilometers. And the next network is also 1,000 kilometers for the inside the city. One is to link the new city, one is in the old city. In terms of solid waste treatment, we would want to have entirely clean treatment 100%. Not only in the center of the city, but also in the rural area, we have to reach 80 to 90%. And our investment focuses on transportation and new energy sources to apply them into infrastructure development so that we can have a low carbon emission. Thank you. Mr. Feng, CEO, and you don't know that the recent months, and he has been studying in the Lee Kuan Yew School of Administration. And I can see that Singapore has a lot experiences that you can learn. I want to ask you two questions because you are often in Singapore. What type of experience is useful to you? And the next question is Wanton has a lot of projects in China which are improving continuously. In the last 21 years, what are the main improvements from Wanton? Thank you for your questions. I am in Singapore. I want to learn from Singapore the entire management of public sector. And I am in Lee Kuan Yew Business School taking a course. And I think in the urban development, Singapore and mainland China are very different. There are two areas. Singapore uses the city and the country as one force. So the resource can be a municipal resource and also a national resource. So it's a planning, implementation, and management, and also the use of resources are very effective. Mainland China is a big country, so each city is very complicated, national level, municipal level. So you can see the administrative power is different. And the policy in China is very, very complicated, so much more complicated than that of Singapore. And local government has a lot of say. For example, land use. The central government said that you cannot each time use 200 mu. But this is not set by the local government. It's from Beijing central government. So local government cannot do large-scale development. They have to use other ways to do their development. Singapore doesn't have that complication. And also in Singapore is a very stable political place. However, in China, we are constantly transforming, or every government is 5-year or 10-year shift. So we don't have a long-term plan. So we would have 4 directors going one direction, and then the 5th one comes, and they have to be in the middle. So you have all directions. So when we do investment, and one government says go to the east, then we try to plan and to implement, then the new one says go to the west. So it's very difficult for us. I think Singapore's stable politics and also effective government can have a long-term view of its development. The 47 years of the history of Singapore, and each year they upgrade. However, in China, we lag behind because too much change. Beijing's 30 years strategy is hard to implement because a lot of leaders will change. And in our company, and we started on our own after 20 years of practice, our main change are 3. First is 3 events. And from somebody non-merchant to become a commercial person. A lot of the private enterprises started not with an entrepreneur, but they have to become an entrepreneur. Secondly is not a corporation to become a corporation. Before 93, China didn't even have a corporate law. So before that, all the corporations, enterprises were like family groups or community groups. Then after 93, we start to have a system of enterprises. The third change is from its products. How can we use commercial models and with international perspective? So now we will see international perspective with China in the heart. So we have to see if our business model can be tested, not just using the experience. The second is we need to have a Chinese heart because we are in China. The third is we have to have specialized abilities. Why do we say we want to learn from Singapore for its vertical city? Because Singapore has a lot of most advanced experience. Because these are specialized expertise we want to learn. And expertise is very important. We emphasize that real estate developers will become a service provider. And it's like a diamond is not mine. However, you have to rely on me to make this diamond beautiful. This is what we do. Thank you. 2 more minutes for Mr. Hong. Your introduction tells us that Singapore's characteristics such as integration of life, work, and entertainment, and also protection of ecology. So its development with Nanjing, how can we complement each other?
We all know Nanjing is an ancient capital of 6 dynasties. In the reform area, we feel that the country's reform, we're not very close to the country's reform. Nanjing is not affected by the macroeconomic policy adjustment. This project has created a strong wind in Nanjing. For Nanjing to become a mega city, international metropolitan, it must improve its competitiveness. So this project has brought Nanjing a fresh of air. The current Nanjing leaders has organized all the district party secretaries and the leaders to come to Singapore to learn its experiences because they feel Singapore's experience is worth learning. Second is planning. All the planning has a major impact in Nanjing. In the old days, you can change the plans randomly. Just like my colleague has said, the successor can easily supersede the previous leader's plan. Why Suzhou can be successful is because of the consistency of the planning. The third is the project has brought a high-tech concept into Nanjing. Now, with this project, every district in Nanjing has created a high-tech area in each district. In the old days, in the daytime, it's very vibrant, but in daytime, it's very quiet and it's very quiet. So we are bringing in Singapore's Concept of combining work life and entertainment together. So we want to change this planning into reality in 10 years' time. I want to ask Shenzhen Vice Mayor and Mr. Zhou, the city government, what do you think is the best way to attract investors into your city? Please summarize it briefly. For Beijing to draw investors, we feel we need to increase a very conducive investment environment. Beijing has pushed this slogan, technology-driven development. We give a very priority policies, incentives to the investors. Another one is from the spatial layout of the city. We need to give the high-tech industries and a priority in land use. Overall, we want to improve the investment environment to draw investors to invest in Beijing. I think this issue will be faced by all the cities. At different stage of the development, the answers will be different. But one thing will be consistent. To draw investors, one thing is the company must be able to make money. If they cannot make money, they won't come to the city. So at different stage, the condition to make money will be different. In the beginning will be the land price, tax incentives. And after you make some profit, you get some tax reduction. These days, these are not enough. It very much depends on the competitiveness. For Shenzhen, there are three conditions. One is the industrial chain. In Shenzhen, for a company to come into Shenzhen, decide whether it invests or not. It depends on, he need to look at his suppliers. If he has plenty of suppliers, then he will invest in Shenzhen. Then anyone doing wireless communication in China, any industry related to wireless communication, they will come to Shenzhen because it has the best industrial chain in this area. Second, you must have talents. If you have talents, you have skilled workers and management staff. And this is what government needs to do. So 2 things they need to do. One is you have to have many training institutions. Second is you have to provide a good environment to the talents. In Shenzhen has become China's one of the most important returning overseas Chinese students. Now there are about 3,000 companies set up by returning overseas Chinese students. So the value is about 16 million Singapore dollars. And some of their companies are already listed overseas. With these conditions, there are also many risk investors, angel investors. Another thing is education. So when these students come back from overseas, their children's education won't become an issue. So these are all important things. The government need to look at it. The government should have high efficiency, should be transparent and no corruption. Because of time limitation, I only summarize in a few sentences. First, I would like to thank all the speakers. For my own personal view, today after hearing your speeches, I have more understanding of China's urbanization. Second is China's cities, although they are facing a slew of problems, but still it is in a continuous improving process. So I expect the economic development and the city development will be very bright. Thank you.